A Maharashtra State Assembly Committee has put forward a report where they have recommended that the prenatal sex determination test should be made compulsory in the state of Maharashtra.
Making parents accountable and tracking them for their pregnancy is like playing with their rights of freedom. If they know, they already knew that my child is going to be a female child or a male child, then that abortion rate will increase.
It's going to open a Pandora's box, because how do we ensure that suddenly natural accidents may start happening to ladies who are carrying a fetus who's female, and then the doctor will have to deal with the complications.
If this law is implemented, then sex of the child will be known previously, and if the sex is known, the number of female foeticide cases will increase.
Now this Congress MLA Gopaldas Agrawal, who headed this committee, has put forward this proposal, and in the past, some time back, even Union Minister Maneka Gandhi had recommended and stated that female sex determination or sex determination tests need to be made compulsory. So it is to be noted that in the future, in the coming future, if both the parties and the government come together to actually pass a law where female or sex determination tests are made compulsory or not.
Tracking a female fetus right from initiation is a good thought, but not sure about the process that's going to be adopted to save the lives as such.
They should, get this executed, and then let's see what it happens.
आजकल का ज़माना मीन्स ये है कि गर्ल्स को देखेंगे तो वो किल ही करेंगे. आजकल अपने यहाँ पे ऐसे लोग हैं कि वो गर्ल्स को मीन्स रखना नहीं चाहते.
Government is taking the right decision in a right way, but the thing is that in our society, 50% of the population, they think that girls are required. 50% they never want a girl.
While you are detecting and discriminating right from its birth, right from the mother's womb, then you are defying the whole purpose of equalities.
So yeah, it's at least a good initiative, but they need to have the strategy on point. Even in foreign countries, we see that sex discrimination is not illegal. However, in a country like India, where there is a greed for a boy child, I think it will be misused.
But we must accept the fact that we do have a problem in this country. That there are female fetuses that are aborted every year simply because they're female. Little girls who are never allowed to be born. A problem that definitely needs a solution. But is this the solution? The Maharashtra government now looking at a possible report that suggests that sex determination tests be made compulsory. And this is a question, viewers, that affects us all. It means that any parent or any parent-to-be will have to be compulsorily told whether or not the baby they're expecting is a boy or a girl. And then the government will track your pregnancy to make sure that the little girls are actually born. Now, on paper, this sounds fantastic. The questions that we have to ask, is the government in a position to track every pregnancy? Does the government know of every sonography machine in the country? If there are, and these are true numbers, 1.5 million babies born in this country every month, how will the government track every single one of them? If we compulsorily allow for every family to know whether they're expecting a girl or a boy, are we then, like pointed out by one of those doctors, opening up Pandora's box and giving out information that we then cannot control? And then finally, for the rest of us, does it infringe upon our rights for the government to force us to find out whether it's a boy or a girl, and then force us to track and make that information available to the government right through the course of that pregnancy? That's the question we're asking. And like always, I'm asking the question of you. My phone number is at the bottom of your screen. Pick up the phone and call us and weigh in on this conversation. But right now, joining me in the studio, Yamini Abde is an activist from Pune, Krishna Sagar Rao, spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Raju Wagmari, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Aishwarya Bhatti, advocate with the Supreme Court, Dr. Duru Shah, scientific director of Gynac World, who practices in Breach Candy Hospital, Dr. Rekha Agarwal, consultant OBGYN for Leelavati Hospital, and of course Swapnil Kothari, senior lawyer in Mumbai. I want to welcome all of our guests to the show. I'm going to start with Dr. Duru Shah. Is it even practical, Dr. Shah, to suggest that every pregnancy can be tracked and that every little girl can be saved? Is this the best way to do it?
No, I don't really think it's a good way to track, women when they are pregnant, especially to understand whether the sex is a female sex or the male sex. Because women keep moving countries, moving cities, and today we see people moving all the time for various activities, probably husbands getting transferred, etc. The logistics of following up these women is going to be tremendous. And as a matter of fact, keeping track of all the ultrasound machines in the city, outside the city, all over Maharashtra probably, is going to be a humongous task. So I think we really need to give a rethink to this.
But I want to point out some numbers. Swapnil Kothari, in the year 2008, and unfortunately these are the latest numbers we have, we don't have numbers after 2008, Uttar Pradesh saw a total registered 89,194 abortions altogether. In 2015, 12 cases of female feticide were registered in Uttar Pradesh. So obviously, the question is that we're not able to track everything. How will the government machinery then track every family, like Dr. Shah pointed out, after they have forcibly told every family, listen, you're expecting either a girl or a boy?
I'll approach this question, Faye, from two aspects. First will be the legal aspect, since I'm a lawyer, that it infracts the right to equality under Article 14, because I'm being treated as a normal parent who doesn't care as to what issue I'm willing to have, whether it's a boy or a girl, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm painted with the same brush as to those parents to whom it does matter. That's one. Two, it infracts the right to privacy enshrined under Article 21 of the Constitution, because the government is trying to enter my bedroom, which is what I most reprehensibly and most strongly object to. The third...
But if the government, forgive me for interrupting you, if the government says that this is for the greater good, which we've seen a lot of things be made mandatory, a lot of things be banned for the greater good. If the government argues that this is for the greater good, you have to find out whether it's a girl or a boy, then what is the defense of it?
Yeah, the defense is very simple, that the greater good cannot, it has to be balanced. There's always, a tussle between the fundamental rights and the greater good, the sort of greater good that it tries to achieve. And it may not be a greater good, in fact, it may be a greater evil, because what you're, as most of your people whom you approached before the start of this show,
yes.
Said that it opens up a Pandora's box. It really opens up a can of worms, because as you pointed out the figures in Uttar Pradesh, etc. Now, from the practical aspect, how are you going to administer it? First of all, that firstly, whether we have the ample bandwidth and the personnel enough to go ahead and monitor that. What if I come for the test? I agree with this test. I come for the test. I come to know that it's a girl child, and I go home and I eat something as a mother because I do not want a child. So the next time when I come for a test, the child is already in some malformed state, etc. And then I invoke the Pre-Natal and the Preconception Diagnostic Techniques Act to see, to go, for a sonography of that nature and try to see what happens. And then if I'm told that, look, the child is suffering from, deformities, then you can go ahead and abort this child. So basically, if I were to implement this kind of a regulation of making the sex tests mandatory, that means I have to do away with the entire PCPNDT Act. That is the first thing that I have to then, repeal that act. Only then I can do something of this nature.
You're saying it's not practical at all.
It's not practical at all.
In fact, I want to bring in the two political parties here, and I'll tell my viewers why this is so important and why it's a discussion we must have tonight. Because a few months ago, we had a statement come in from Union Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi, who proposed that expecting mothers be told compulsorily the gender of their child, the would-be mother and unborn child be registered, be monitored, be tracked until the baby was born. She said that is the only way to stop female feticide. And today, the Public Accounts Committee has proposed compulsory sex determination in Maharashtra at least, and the person who proposed it is a member of the Congress party, which means that for whatever reason, the Congress and the BJP agree about something. Raju Wagmare, do the Congress and the BJP agree about something?
No, Faye, this is absolutely not right. First of all,
it was tabled by a member of your party, Raju Wagmare.
No. Though it is tabled by our party, but party is not ready to go with this kind of whatever they are putting.
No, but why are you wasting this House's time?
Officially.
This is led by Congress MLA Gopaldas Agrawal, who has tabled this recommendation on Friday. Why are you wasting the House's time if the party doesn't believe what your MLA is tabling?
No. See, what is happening in Vidhan Sabha or Vidhan Parishad, if MLA wanted to give something on a table, he have a right to put those things on a table, whatever the issues that what he feels. But that does not mean the whole party supporting this kind of features. Now we have to understand, in total India, if you look into that, 2014, if you do the numbers, 106 cops, it's per 1 lakh people in India. The ratio of the system is totally haywire.
So
how the government...
Yes. No. I'm sorry. I still haven't gotten over the first part of your answer. Congress MLA Gopaldas Agrawal has tabled something officially in the House of Maharashtra, which you say the rest of the party is not in agreement with. How do we know that the rest of the party is in agreement with what you are saying right now?
See, because I am a party spokesperson.
And he is not.
First of all, so whatever the party's official line is taken by the Congress, that is number one thing.
So hang on. So the party's line is told by the party spokesperson, but not the Public Accounts Committee? Does the Congress party not take the Public Accounts Committee of Maharashtra seriously enough to run through what is being tabled before it's tabled?
No. The Public Account Committee, it's mixed with all legislative members. It is not only with the Congress. You have to understand that.
If a member of your party is tabling, one assumes that you agree with what he's saying.
No. See, what happened, the Public Account Committee, it's with all different parties representative are mixed with this Public Accounts Committee.
Are you objecting for the sake of objecting?
No.
Opposition for the sake of opposition?
I am objecting from my heart and from my brain.
As an individual or as a party?
As a party, this kind of things cannot happen. You cannot force people to go and check if I don't want to check. I wanted to get my child the way I will get. I don't want to check. Why you are forcing me to do? This government is forcing us to eat what they want, forcing us how to wear, what to eat, and now they are coming to the bedroom that they wanted to check. How it is possible?
When the Public Accounts Committee tables something in assembly, let me finish my question. Will the Congress party support it or vote against this particular suggestion?
We will definitely vote against this bill because party is not ready to go with this kind of.
Right. So you table a bill that you then vote against, effectively wasting our time.
This is a total dictatorship.
Okay, let me bring in at this point Krishna Sagar Rao representing the BJP. Krishna Sagar Rao, where does the BJP stand? Do you at least have a clear stand on whether you are for or against this?
It's quite funny that the Congress spokesperson is denouncing his own MLA who has tabled the document. I understand it's at a proposal stage and not at a bill stage even. So the intentions might be right, but it is totally shabbily, it's a shabbily done report and it is completely impractical, completely unenforceable, and it's a bill which is regressive.
Whether BJP
in fact, it will work against the PCPNDT.
He has to give that answer.
Why are you talking in
between? 1 second. Krishna Sagar Rao.
Why are you talking in between?
1 second. Mr. Rao. Mrs. Maneka Gandhi, the Union Minister for Women and Child Development proposed that expecting mothers be told compulsorily the gender of their child and the would-be mother and the unborn child be registered, monitored and tracked until the baby was born. Gandhi said, and I'm quoting, that this proposal has been sent to the government as well. So are you right now disagreeing with your own Union Minister?
See, what Maneka Gandhiji said is completely different from what has been tabled at the PAC by the House Committee Chairman. And so you have to differentiate between these two. One is idealism. Even Maneka Gandhiji, what she said, she figured that it is impractical in the sense that the enforcement is unviable.
Says it's idealism.
But she only proposed it, and the intentions were right.
I don't understand the difference. I don't understand the difference.
Faye, what I'm saying is, what this man who has proposed the bill, proposed the document, I think I'm getting a lot of resound here, please check it.
Okay, we'll check it. We'll check that, but go on.
What I'm trying to tell you is, the report which is tabled at the PAC has nothing to do with what Maneka Gandhi has said. Maneka Gandhi was talking about the PCPNDT to be enforced properly by tracking the mothers who give birth. The person is talking about how the sonography, right from the time pre-conception, the sonography. Hello. Who's talking in between?
I am. We're just going to try and fix your audio. We'll fix your audio.
You have to allow me to complete.
Okay, we'll fix your audio and we'll come back to Krishna Sagar Rao. But it seems very interesting here that both political parties are now abandoning a concept that has been suggested by their own ministers. And Krishna Sagar Rao, you cannot get away with saying Maneka Gandhi is just suggesting the existing law be enforced. Because existing law clearly prohibits sex determination. And Maneka Gandhi suggests making it compulsory. It's two opposite things, and it's exactly the same thing that has now been tabled by the Maharashtra, in front of the Maharashtra government. I'm going to bring in right now Aishwarya Bhatti. Aishwarya Bhatti, this is ridiculous. It's a waste of everybody's time, and more importantly, a waste of taxpayer money if they don't even agree with what it is they're doing.
Faye, my audio is fine. Let me complete. It doesn't go well when you're talking on a national television.
One second, I'll come back to you. Krishna Sagar Rao, I'll come back to you. Yes. Aishwarya Bhatti.
It is so bizarre. It is absolutely so bizarre that here is a case where the remedy that is actually proposed is worse than the malady that it proposes to cure. So this kind of remedy, and I mean PCPNDT Act is a central act. That act has been passed by the parliament of our country. That act is something that prevails, through the entire country. One legislature of any state does not have any authority of overriding this. In any case, this is a central subject. Central act has been enforced for a long time, and it is absolutely bizarre that these kind of, and this is absolutely banned in the central act. The PCPNDT Act, the whole purpose, the central theme of the act is to completely ban all kinds of prenatal testings. Female feticide is a very real, it's a horrible thing, but it's very unfortunate that we are sitting in 21st century talking about women's empowerment and women's rights and everything, but still we are dealing with these kind of issues. It's probably the biggest blot on our nation, on our society today, and it is still there. It is staring us in the face. It is a very serious issue, and the whole point of PCPNDT Act was to curb this. I agree the PCPNDT Act has not achieved what it really needed to achieve, but we need to look at ways to strengthen the implementation of the PCPNDT Act, not to find remedies which will completely take over the malady itself and become so bad that the malady goes somewhere else and the remedy becomes another problem. So that's the kind of problem and the red flag that I'm talking about today.
Krishna Sagar Rao, I'm coming back to you right now. I understand your audio has been fixed.
Parents as accountable is a very welcome step.
Right. Let me just go back to Krishna Sagar Rao.
Krishna Sagar Rao, accountable is a welcome step.
The BJP, according to you, and one second, Aishwarya Bhatti, the BJP, according to you, disagrees with this proposal that was made by your union minister. This sort of talk will send confusing messages through the country. Remember that we have a massive, large country that doesn't live in either Mumbai or Delhi, where it has taken long enough to explain to people that sex determination is wrong and is outlawed. Now we'll flip the whole thing on its head and send confusing messages again, and people won't know whether it's outlawed, whether it's compulsory, should they find out, should they not find out. Why isn't the government, both Congress and BJP, being more responsible about what is being said?
Please let me complete this statement. I am on a national television and I am representing BJP. We are in government. So please, if you don't interrupt. Yeah. See, what I am only trying to tell you very clearly is Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't support the report which has been tabled in Maharashtra, because we have nothing to do with it, and it's very frivolous and unenforceable. It's contravening ultra wiring national act which is PCPNDT 1994. So that is a clear stand. Number two, you're talking about Maneka Gandhiji. Maneka Gandhiji, as a Minister of Women and Child Welfare, has proposed, but there is nothing in written as a report or a bill which has been proposed in the Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. So please understand, these are individual intentions. While intentions might be right, their expression might not be in congruence with the laws which are existing. And what BJP feels very strongly is the PCPNDT Act needs to be enforced properly. First of all, we don't have enough machinery, the government and non-government machinery, to enforce this law properly across the country. Now we cannot talk about regressing, going backwards without finding a solution for the problem and creating a new problem by saying that we can have the sex determination and then we'll track people. This is absurd. And that absurdity comes from the ignorance of the Congress MLA, not BJP. We are very clear. There is no confusion with BJP, nor with the government of India. So please correct that sentence that we are confusing. We are not. The law is being passed in 1994. We are continuing with it. Sex determination is a crime in this country, and that will continue. This proposal is only at the birth stage, and it will not see the light of the day. It will be trashed in Maharashtra Assembly. So please be clear about Bharatiya Janata Party stand and Maharashtra government stand.
Okay. Now that you're done, and I have not interrupted you, let me point out to you that Maneka Gandhi herself revealed that the proposal which I'm assuming is made on paper, that the proposal has been sent to the union government, which means it was a proposal that was written out and sent to the union government. Also, if you are saying that these are personal opinions, these are personal opinions of lawmakers. These are lawmakers that have to be more responsible personal opinions. And I'm assuming that before, now don't interrupt me. Now don't interrupt me, I heard you out. Before the individual who's been tasked with looking after women and child development for the entire country makes a written proposal and puts it in front of the union government, that some homework will be done, whether or not it's actually implementable. Now that is not for me to decide, that is for the government to decide. And you have rightfully pointed out that it's completely impractical and should have never tabled to begin with. Now, I don't care, quite frankly, on this show, whether it was the BJP or the Congress. My problem is with impractical, confusing reports and proposals that are tabled in front of various governments that are completely wasting taxpayer time and money. Don't waste our money. Do your jobs, do a better job of your jobs. Don't come here and waste our money by tabling proposals that are completely useless and that are actually causing confusion. In fact, let me bring in Dr. Rekha Agrawal. Dr. Rekha Agrawal, this is counterintuitive to what doctors across India have attempted to achieve in the last decade. Are you disappointed?
I think we should now force them to have a sex determination. I think we should tell them to track each and every pregnant woman. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
We should ask them, okay, since you insist, track each and every pregnant woman and find out what is the cause of maternal mortality in India. What is the cause of malnutrition in India? What is the cause of 42% being protein energy malnutrition in India? If they have the wherewithal to track pregnancies, fantastic. Do it by all means. We must catch them on this and make them track the pregnancies. And then we will have an improvement in maternal mortality, fetal mortality. I frankly don't know what will happen to sex ratio, but I think, yes, if they have the machinery, we challenge them to do it. It is an impossible task. Let us first prevent maternal mortality because of malnutrition, because of anemia, because of 42% people are undernourished in India. We are not tracking these people who are alive. What are they talking about, tracking pregnant women? It is an impossible task. Let them come out with a white paper on how they are going to do it. Well, we must insist that they do it, now that they have spelt it out.
Let me bring in Yogita Bayana. Yogita Bayana, there is a report that has just come out.
Let us see how they do it.
That points out that 9 out of 10 children 9 out of 10 children do not receive the nutrition that they need in this country. 9 out of 10 under the age of 5. These are the statistics that we're looking at. They're shocking statistics.
Exactly.
We're preoccupied at this point with banning alcohol, with making states dry, with taking eggs off the midday meal for children who desperately need the protein. And instead of tackling all of those problems, we are wasting time and money by tabling things that our own parties don't agree with. So this will be tabled. The same parties will come back into the House and the Parliament. They will vote against it. They will waste time and they will waste money, Yogita.
Definitely, Faye. Definitely. Can you hear me?
Yes, Yogita, I can hear you.
Definitely, I agree with you, Faye. There are a lot of loopholes in the whole system, starting from Anganwadi system, which is not very well implemented. They just go there, they just fulfill the formalities, they don't even feed the children, they don't even look at the charts. So whole Anganwadi system has to again rebuild and revive. Secondly, coming back to the sex ratio, whole thought of determining sex is a bizarre thing. Even to, coming from Women and Child Minister is something which is like, you know, beyond the imagination of our country, because we have we have to look up to her statements. You know, it is not that it is whether on record or not on record, but she has to be very responsible because she is working on women and child welfare. And as personally, as an activist, I feel any kind of sexual violence starts from womb. You know, the source is the womb. If you are discriminating at the womb itself, I mean, there are chances that definitely we are not going to cope up with the sexual violence which we are trying to fight through various sources. Even Faye, you have been taking up this cause very seriously. Everything starts there itself. So if we are discriminating, determining the sex there, I think nothing can change. The rapes, like women's safety will not come in if we change it right there. So Maharashtra government contradicting on their own laws, I think this is really, really a regressive kind of a step, and this should be taken seriously. These kind of, even if they are unofficial statements, not on record, nothing have been done on it, but they have to be responsible for making such statements, because this itself boosts the, you know, mindset of people, especially in the rural India. They will take it very seriously. They might, you know, they will start doing the things which they were doing, which people have put in so much effort, activists has put in so much effort, media, doctors, everybody has done so much. But I think this kind of statement itself will give them some kind of a motivation to go ahead and do the sex determination and kill the girl child in the womb itself. I think this is really
I'm opening the debate up right now. I'm opening the debate up right now. Swapnil Kothari, there are two problems here. One is, of course, implementation, has been pointed out by the entire panel. The other is the right to privacy. And the government's idea here to find out the sex of all of our children and possibly track it. Do you think this opens up perhaps also a Pandora's box of harassment?
Yes, it does. In fact, it will militate against the very right to privacy that couples and individuals which have been guaranteed under the Article 21 of the Constitution. Now, for the benefit of the viewers, I'd like to point out one thing, that yes, public health and safety is a central subject also, but it is also a state subject, and it can be part even of the concurrent list. So it doesn't stop the state from coming out, but why only Maharashtra? Why not the entire states? Okay, if it's tabled here, it's still at a proposal stage, it's not at the bill stage. So obviously when the bill is being drafted, I'm sure they'll take care of the fact that PCPNDT is not violated significantly, but I'm against this because of the basic harm that it does to cure, as Aishwarya rightly pointed out, that the remedy itself is problematic. Rather than curing the malady, it in fact aggravates it. Right, that's one. Yeah. Two, okay. Just one more minute, you know, not all sorts of prenatal tests are banned under the PCPNDT. They have specified certain things about medical deformities, etc., that a fetus may have. So, and it applies, one of the most important distinctions that it makes is it applies to women over 35 years of age, to pregnant women over 35 years of age. Now, this bill which has been, this not a bill, this proposal which has been tabled doesn't distinguish at all. It applies to all the women. So how do you marry those two things? That is one of the other aspects. And the other important aspect is that this kind of a proposal goes against the entire judgments of the Supreme Court, which has, you know, where it has enumerated certain guidelines for the appropriate authorities which have been formed under this PCPNDT Act to look after the proper implementation of this Act. The Supreme Court judgments under the Voluntary Health Association versus Union of India and Sabu George. And one of the interesting things is that this particular matter of Sabu George versus Union of India talks about violation of Section 22 of this Act, which prevented Google, Yahoo and Microsoft from auto-blocking any such words that crop up about sex determination, etc. Now this matter is going to come up again. It's still at the hearing stage. It's going to come up again tomorrow itself, where it's listed for the for hearing before the Supreme Court. So let us see what the Supreme Court says on. So on one hand, we have the order of the Supreme Court, or rather, should I say, orders of the Supreme Court, which talk about that please, 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 Yahoo, Microsoft, and Google remove those catchphrases about sex determination, etc., so that there is no perverted advertisement, helping couples to abort this child, to abort the female child.
Sure. Okay.
And on the other hand, we have some absurd proposal like this.
Okay, so Raju Wagmare, and I'm going to do another round with both of the political parties. Raju Wagmare, now that you know that the BJP is also opposing it, do you change your stand?
See, Faye, from the day one, the Congress party is always with the women, and all the, if you look into the laws that what we made for the women, we gave the 50% support
answer my question.
into the politics. If you look into all this aspect, we are totally against of this sex determination bill. That is, and you have to understand, this bill is actually a proposal bring by the committee. It's not a bill, it's a proposal made
what are you
by
saying?
the
You are saying
Public Account Committee.
The Public Accounts Committee,
Now that
chaired by a Congress MLA, has tabled
always Public Account Committee is chaired by the opposition legislature.
Right.
Try to understand. And Public Account Committee is made with all political parties representative.
Okay.
Now that does not mean that the Public Account Committee head by the opposition representative, that means we are putting this bill. Congress party officially, I'm telling you one more time,
Let me read.
we are totally against this kind of things what they are putting into the paper, because A, it is not possible to track all this kind of things.
So do you
think
it is a violating of natural has tabled something completely impractical? So if you think, Raju Wagmare, that the Public Accounts Committee has tabled something completely impractical, then the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, who happens to be an MLA from your party, doesn't know his job. How did he get that job? How did he get there? Who gave him a ticket to run for assembly?
Faye, there in that Public Account Committee also.
It's not your fault.
No, it is come with a majority. You have to try to understand Public Account Committee's strength, how it is built. It is not built by Congress. The only thing that because of Congress is an opposition party, he's
you
MLA.
have absolutely no responsibility.
I'm telling you, it is Public Account Committee. They put everything together unanimously. You have to understand the majority comes, and majority put this whatever it comes on that table. So they are putting this as a Congress representative and a spokesperson.
You have absolutely no power but to push whatever the BJP is forcing you to do. How can you even be saying these things on national television, Raju Wagmare?
No.
You should take some responsibility for the public offices that your MLAs hold.
Can I say something now? So you have to understand one more thing, Faye.
Please explain.
You have to understand the democracy. In Public Account Committee, everything goes by the majority. You have to try to understand. The person who is the chairman of the Public Account Committee.
What majority then? You can't take care of the welfare of the people. What majority are you talking about? We want welfare for our children.
Can you listen to me?
We want welfare for our women.
Can you listen to me?
The chairman of the Public Accounts Committee has no choice but to push whatever the majority.
Any kind of things. The chairman has to put those things on a people's representative
table. So why is there a
table.
Public Accounts Committee at all? They shouldn't be, no? The majority formed government should just run whatever they need to run.
Faye, please, I am very, what do you call that? Very humbly, I am requesting you. It is not a Congress. It is a Public Account Committee. It's come by the majority. Congress has totally opposing This kind of things, if it is coming,
did you speak to the MLA in question? Did you speak to the...
it.
One second. Don't get upset. Did you speak to the MLA in question, who is a member of your party, as the official party spokesperson? Did you ask him what were the conditions of duress under which he tabled this particular proposal?
I'm explaining you, when it is come in the majority, the MLA belongs to any party.
Did you speak to the individual in question? What did he say?
Yes, it is because of majority. He has to put the things on the table. He cannot say, if I am a
He should
chairman,
resign. He should resign. He doesn't believe in this bill. He doesn't believe in this proposal.
If the majority committee says, if this bill I have to put,
he should resign.
On the table.
He should resign. He should resign. He should turn around tomorrow and say they forced me to table something I don't agree with. I am resigning.
Allow me to say, he put his opposition for this bill. They told it is a majority and they put the bill on a table. So it is not his responsibility.
He's the chairperson.
It is coming in a majority, what he wants to do. You have to go by the rules, by the democracy. If the majority is saying this proposal has to be put on a table, he has to put on a table.
All right, Aishwarya Bhatti, are these the rules of democracy? Are these the rules of democracy? In which case, I don't understand why this person has his job at all. He should give it up.
No, Faye, what you are
talking
he's being
about? Paid. No, I'm sure he's being paid a salary out of my tax money.
It is very easy to say that he should give up. He keep the...
I'm not saying it. Let's hear the lawyers. Let's hear the lawyers. Let's hear the lawyers. Let's hear the lawyers. Let's hear the lawyers.
I wish to give a clarification.
One second, Krishna Sagar Rao, I'll come to you.
I just wanted to point out that, you know, what is sad in this whole affair, is the fact that PCPNDT Act is a central law. No legislature can make a law, even if it is in the concurrent list, they cannot make a law which overrides or contravenes the central law. And here PCPNDT Act, it's not like there is a scope for maneuver. PCPNDT Act very clearly specifies and bans any prenatal, pre-diagnostic techniques for the purpose of sex determination. Now, we are not talking about some ordinary issue here. This is a very, very serious issue that we are talking about. We can't, and you rightly pointed out that it doesn't matter which political party is batting for it or fielding for it.
You know, this also, here's the interesting part. While Raju Agrawal is agreeing wholeheartedly with Aishwarya Bhatti at this point, Raju Agrawal, what you're, at least if you're saying that the chairperson of this committee did not have the ability to stop the proposal, he should have at least in his position turned around and said, this proposal is useless. No, this is a central law. Why are you wasting time? Why wasn't he able to do that? He's completely incapable of doing his job. You wasted my taxpayer money. I would like a refund of this man's salary because he obviously doesn't know what to do.
Can I say something?
Yes.
In a public account committee, when you are opposing something, you oppose.
No, that's not my point.
But if the majority put the things,
Yogita is pointing out that the Public Accounts Committee of Maharashtra has absolutely no ability to change a law that has come from the centre.
Yes.
Then this individual that we are talking about, who's chairing the Accounts Committee, should have known and should have said that don't waste the time of this committee by tabling something useless. That is his job as chairman, at least. Will you agree?
You are not listening. I'm explaining you.
No, you're not explaining anything to me.
Our MLA, Ms. Faye, he already opposed it. He opposed it in the committee. That's why we are talking about
if you are so helpless, then give up.
We are not.
If you are so helpless, give up.
Taken on record.
Give up on your salaries, perks, benefits. Why don't you give up?
We are opposing it. We are telling you.
Okay, you're opposing it. All right. Let's take on record that Raju Agrawal, representing the Congress party, is opposing this. Krishna Sagar Rao, this entire government doesn't know whether it's coming or going.
See, Faye, let me just be very clear about this. I think the congressman is not prepared and he is misrepresenting the entire case. PAC is just a watchdog and it has no teeth to make any bills, period. It's just a watchdog institution to oversee any issue. Number two, and one minute, sir, please rest your case. Now, Mr. Gopaldas is not from PAC, he's from one of the House committees. The congressman should understand what he's speaking. And House committee has submitted a proposal to PAC which is irrelevant actually. It has nothing to do with PAC. Now, there are tens of House committees in an assembly and those House committees give hundreds of proposals. Even one or two out of those proposals probably will see the light of the day because especially this kind of a substandard, shoddy proposal will never see the light of the day. We are getting ahead of ourselves to waste a broadcast time, Faye. discussing this one because this
Sir,
will never
sir, my
become
salary is
even a
not
bill
paid
or
by
a
taxpayer
draft.
money. One
It is a
second.
waste of
Krishna
time
Sagar
by
Rao,
an
Krishna
MLA.
Sagar Rao, Krishna Sagar Rao.
I
My
agree with
salary,
you. I totally
hang on,
agree
sir.
with you.
My salary is
I agree
not
with you,
paid
Faye.
with taxpayer money. I can sit here and discuss
said
this
I agree
point
with
until
you.
the cows come home. It does not cost the Indian taxpayer anything. But when the government, in your own admission, sits around and tables useless petition after useless petition, only 2 out of 10, like you said, actually see the light of day. You are wasting my money. A third of my salary every month goes straight into taxes without me even getting to see it. There are every kind of cess that I pay on everything that I buy and every service that I use. And you are telling me that you people are sitting around and wasting my money and wasting my time. I want a refund of my taxes. How dare you? How dare you sit around and tell me there are committees set up that are constantly sitting around and tabling completely useless, impractical things? You people are lawmakers. Have some dignity for the offices that you hold. Do not insult the money that I pay the government on a monthly basis. That is my hard-earned money. I work a long time and my entire team works a really long time. And there are people who pay money and taxes to this government. Do not waste that money on nonsense that you sit around and disagree among yourselves. One expects that before somebody puts pen on paper and submits a proposal either to the central government or the state government that you've done some homework, that you've consulted with a lawyer. Where is the dignity of these offices?
Let me answer.
Ravi Nair is on the phone line. Enough.
Let me answer.
Ravi Nair, go ahead. Let's hear from the citizens.
Let me
Let's
answer.
hear from the citizens. Ravi Nair, please go ahead.
You made a big statement.
I will come back to you, Mr. Rao. Ravi Nair is on the phone line. Ravi Nair, please go ahead.
Partly I agree with you, but this outrage is not required.
Outrage is required. Outrage is required. If you pay taxes every month, you would understand how upset I am.
Needed.
Come on.
Outrage is required. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There are 50,000 children in the state of Maharashtra who are dying of malnourishment because they haven't been fed. They will die if they are not fed immediately. There are farmers who are killing themselves. Outrage is absolutely required. Don't you dare turn around and take away my right to outrage. It is a fundamental right in this country. And I have every right to be outraged
you have to understand a democratic framework. You cannot just say that
I have lawyers here who will advise me on the democratic framework. I don't need to be an expert. I only need to be a citizen, Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao.
I think, see, exactly, you're a citizen, but there should be a...
Mr. Rao, you had your say. I want
you don't want the democracy to function.
I want to hear the citizens.
You don't want people to express.
You can bring a lot of changes.
Ravi Nair, please express yourself.
You don't have spine. You just don't want to work for
One second, everybody. Let's just calm down. Ravi Nair, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah. My question is to Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao. Most of the schemes which have been presented by the BJP has always taken a high moral ground, but it has never been practical. They brought the demonetization. They forced decent people like me to put my money into the bank, and now when I have to remove the money, they have put in this transaction.
Where are you going? What is the issue which
do not interrupt my citizens.
Please, if you could ask him to keep it, I would like to ask my question.
Faye, I think we should have less drama on this show and I think more content. See, when we are discussing an issue,
can we just, Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao, if you do not allow Ravi Nair to finish his question, I'm going to down your mic audio. I request you to respect and at least hear him out, and then I will give you a chance to answer. But it is required that you hear him out. Whether you want to answer dramatically or in a monotone, I will leave that up to you. Please, Ravi Nair, continue.
Krishna Sagar Rao, please be noted, I voted for you, so I need to ask a question to you. Now when I have to remove my money from the bank, I need to pay my transaction costs. You are now coming out with a slaughter ban, now which seems to be absolutely misconstrued, and it doesn't seem to be working. Why restrict yourself only to cows? I would like a goat, a hen, a lamb, whom I equally respect, and I would like why Menaka is being quiet about that issue. Why only cow? Stop slaughter of all those things which is prevailing in India. Now my question is, now with the sex determination thing, you are entering my bedroom, and now you're coming out with a scheme and trying to put it across, saying that it's a high moral ground, and now you say that you don't want to accept it, we are not accepting it, Congress has nothing to do. And it's been a flop show from the last 3 years, Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao. That's it.
Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao, please respond directly to Ravi Nair, who voted for your government. I am not going to intervene.
Yeah, Mr. Ravi Naik, I respect you. I respect that you have voted for us. And I think you have to do a little bit of more understanding in terms of asking a question which is irrelevant to what we're discussing today. That's what I was mentioning. Otherwise, I can answer all your questions. If Faye gives me all day, I can take all day to explain how demonetization works to better this country. But however, you also misconstrued that a proposal to be already become an act And then you said your government is coming into the bedroom. Our government is not even considering this proposal. We haven't even looked at this proposal. This proposal is at the PAC. The legislative functioning, you have to understand, before getting worried about a proposal stage, piece of paper, which MLA's imagination, that's about it, and that's to a shoddy imagination of a Congress MLA. Why are you bringing government into it? Government has nothing to do with this particular proposal.
Those MLAs are also representative of your
please be rest
party.
assured.
Can I say
they come
something?
from you, like they come from your party. That's why they are on document.
Can I say something?
How can you get away with saying that?
I want to bring in here 1 second. Yamini Abde, who joins us in Pune. Yamini, unfortunately, a lot of the criticism is met with very, a sort of school teacher-like scolding, saying, do your homework, you don't understand democracy, you don't understand how this country functions. I think that's a way of belittling the citizen's opinion. I understand democracy because I vote. I understand democracy because I pay taxes. Yeah. I would like an accountability for my vote and my taxes. That is all we are saying. Yamini Abde.
Exactly, but I just wanted to say a few things. PCPNDT Act, I have been dealing since years. When I go for raids, I check for the thing that nobody detects the sex, and we catch him if somebody is doing. Fine. We prosecute him, we convict him. Now, it's a central act. We are defying central act locally in Maharashtra. Can we do that? 1. 2. Secondly, when the authorities who are trying to make the bills, they are trying to make the bill. They have made a proposal, you say. Can they make a proposal contradicting the act, existing act? The person who detects the sex will be sent to the jail. That is what the act says. So how can we make a law? Secondly, when we go to the ground level realities, a bill is being made or will be made. But you tell me, even today, all the pregnancies in government hospitals are checked, registered and tracked. You want me to believe that you could not trace 50,000 sonography units, and PCPNDT Act failed. So now you want to track few billion pregnancies every year, and you will be able to do that. Absolutely. Only in Maharashtra?
Absolutely. Well
can
said,
you
well
make
said.
a rule against contradicting the main act? Can you do that?
Dr. Shah?
Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say is that, see, I just realized that how laws are made and how discussions are held in the political world. But when it comes to actual practice, what we go through as doctors, we have to fill some long forms before we take the patient onto the examination table. The ultrasound machines have to be registered, the people using the machine have to be registered. If there is a raid and someone walks in and finds someone else on the machine except for the people who are registered, then you're in trouble. Trouble means they will seal the machine, they'll put it in the newspapers the next day that so-and-so's machine has been sealed under the PCPNDT Act, and there goes the reputation of the doctor, there goes the reputation of the clinic.
Each and every pregnancy?
So the question is, can I please finish?
Yes.
The question is that we are looking at the kind of harassment which happens both to doctors and patients. Because of the PCPNDT Act, we are not allowed to use portable machines. Women who are pregnant, who are on complete bed rest at home because of threatened preterm labor, we are not allowed to take the machine to their homes. They have to be brought in ambulances to the hospital, and that entails a lot of expense for the people who are bringing them in and out. So there are so many issues which come with the kind of laws which are made. I think they just need to get some scientific advisor to guide them as to what kind of laws are practical and what is not practical.
Ma'am, unfortunately, the situation is that the people sitting over there who are making the laws, they are not aware of the ground realities.
Absolutely.
The mindset is to be changed, not the law, you know.
No, and if you have seen it in Haryana, they have brought down the sex ratio. And I think it's basically because they're talking about educating the girl child and they're pushing incentives in doing that.
Exactly.
And I think the whole background is to improve the societal look at what you look at women, raise them, empower them, and all this will stop.
The fact that we are sitting here today in 2017 having this conversation where India has the worst sex ratio, one of the worst sex ratios in the world. It's appalling, appalling conversations. The fact that a couple of months ago in the district of Sangli, somebody pulled out a plastic bag with 19 little unborn baby girls in it who were murdered before they were born. This is the reality of the country we are living in. Why can't we be a little more responsible when we're framing rules about these baby girls? Vivek is on the phone line right now. Vivek, go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening.
I've been listening to the discussion, and one thing comes out very, very strongly, and that is, I do not know whether it's the Housing Committee or the Public Accounts Committee, but it seems that both the committees are operating at least carelessly, if not incompetently. And therefore, our money is getting wasted anyway. Why have this procedure of housing committees tabling anything without calling in the experts and refining their proposals? We are spending money on them. Why shouldn't they spend money on the experts?
Absolutely.
Why don't we have housing committees with experts rather than these people who till yesterday were Gali ka netas and now they have become suddenly legislators? When they don't understand the ABCD of the law, why should they be given that responsibility?
And let me just, you very well said, let me just point out that I have a team of 20-year-olds.
They don't know the ground realities also.
One second. I have a team of 20-year-olds who spend 4 hours on the phone lines and managed to put together this panel of experts, of lawyers and of doctors and of people who are working in the area. Why can't the government do the same? Why are we sitting here talking about the fact that we table proposals using time and money of the taxpayer that are completely useless? And Swapnil Kothari, the repeated reminder to the citizen of this country that you don't understand how democracy functions, you don't understand how government functions, you are misreading our intentions. Please teach us, Swapnil Kothari, as an officer of the law, how does democracy function? Is it not my right to be outraged at this?
Yes, Faye, the freedom of expression as enshrined under 19(1)(a) clearly allows you to be outraged, to be extremely angry, and to be irate at any proposal that is absurd or any suggestion from any political party that tends to defend itself against such chaotic proposals. My request to both the political parties that first, there was some proposal about wedding expenses to be limited to 5 lakhs earlier. Now something of this nature. Why come out with such proposals at all? There are state acts and there are central acts both standing on the same subject. Why take the time of the court and the taxpayers' money to begin with in the first place to let the courts decide as to whether a state act violates a central act or not and whether it's part of the concurrent list or not? Something of that nature should not be there even in the first place. A democracy allows you, Faye, once again I repeat, to have that strong an outrage against something which tends to take up the taxpayers' money, and not only that, but even the time of the people involved, where they do not, where they have to waste their time upon subjects that are absolutely unintelligible. And the demographic ratio that you pointed out, if we are supposed to be a developed country in the near future, then I think we need to allow more girl children to come out rather than allow these kind of tests to take place.
Right. I want to give Krishna Sagar Rao the last option here to give us a statement. Krishna Sagar Rao, very quickly, I have 30 seconds. Very quickly, sir.
One thing, they cannot...
Krishna Sagar Rao, very quickly, go ahead. Yes.
Faye, yeah. See, Faye, I think I completely agree with the panel members. The only solution for this issue is social transformation, girl education, and equal opportunity for women at workplace. If we can achieve this, I think the PCPNDT Act will not be required in the next 20-25 years from here. I think we should ensure that the PCPNDT Act becomes null and void one day. I think that will be a great India, rather than having proposals which are completely meaningless to add or to reduce PCPNDT Act's enforcement value.
Well, I have to wrap up this discussion, but let me point out to you that in the states of Punjab and Haryana, we actually have really improved sex ratio without doing any of this gymnastics of government that we have witnessed over the last 1 hour. But As it stands right now, there are 919 little girls in India for every 1,000 boys, which means 81 girls were killed before they were born. This is, in today's day and age, such a massive, heart-wrenching, serious issue. And I am shocked that governments at various levels are not seeking help when they form these laws. Our country is full of experts, legal experts, medical experts, people who are working in the fields. Ask the women. Ask them what they need. Find out how you can help. Stop distracting us. Every time we get news of the fact that you're banning this, you're banning that, you're tilting this, you're moving that, it is a distraction from the fact that you don't want us to ask the real questions. How are you feeding the babies? How many jobs have you created? How are you saving our farmers? Those are the real questions. Do not waste our time and money. We work really hard. And this country has places to go. The youth of this country is not interested in your politics and how you don't agree with people of your own party and how you think half the things that are tabled or 80% of the things that are tabled are completely impractical and will never see the light of day anyway. Why can't you work as hard as we do? That's all we expect. Just do your jobs. Do them better. Think of how much we can achieve if 80% of everything that was tabled was actually good. Actually involved you doing some homework. Do not waste our time. We're watching and we're clocking you. Thanks for watching.